Hi, I'm Ellie from crystallinks.com. Today is Saturday, June 3rd, 2017. An interesting thing happened when I was reading a client yesterday. And in case you didn't know, I'm a psychic reader. But she mentioned a term that meant something else to me. And because I'm not from the 20-year-old age group as she is, I needed explanation. The term was ghosting. When she said ghosting, I thought of the obvious in my field, which is ghosts. Ghosts who come, ghosts who go, ghosts who bother, ghosts who bring messages. The whole field of ghosting, which to me is projected illusion in the hologram we believe is our reality. Okay, so that was an easy one, and I thought that maybe she was having a ghostly experience. What I discovered and learned from her, because I like learning from my clients, especially the young ones, is that ghosting is when you date someone, and dating now is texting and Skyping, yes, no, whatever. Dating someone, proceeding on with the dating, and then they just disappear. They just stop answering. And she has found that this is very common. Now, I'm in New York, and she's a New Yorker, and she is in her early 20s, should we say, 23. And it all goes to some very simple statements. As far as what I could explain to her is going beyond a few dates of ghosting is a worse situation I have found with many of my clients. Apparently, men and women will get together, they meet, they're in their maybe usually more like 30ish, and then they get more and more serious and they talk marriage, and this is all within the first 6 months, which isn't the greatest thing in the world to do. But the guy will go out, he'll buy the girl the ring, and they talk about a wedding, they make plans, what are they going to do, where they're going to go on a honeymoon. They start to plan a life, and this is usually at an age that's very tender for women, because 30, it's like, am I going to be an old maid in this world where people don't want to commit, or is this the right guy for me? Okay, and he seems to be, maybe he fits in culturally and academically and physically, and all the factors seem to work. And then one day, just as things are moving along, and it's usually after 6 months, the guy's gone. I mean, where did he go? Why did he go? What's going on with him? And these girls just come to me hysterical crying. There's one other little tiny thing that usually comes with this scenario. The guy usually buys the girl a little dog. Now, maybe this is a New York thing because people prefer little pets to keep in the apartments, but it's like I'm hearing this story over and over and over again. So now we review, okay? The guy may have been in a space where, let's say he's 29, 30, that's called his Saturn return. He's starting to see his friends get married. He thinks, I'm going to go for it. He feels he's in love with this girl. Usually the family loves the girl and the girl's family loves the guy, and everything is really copacetic. And then all of a sudden he gets cold feet, and he just knows he can't spend the rest of his life with this woman, plus give her half of his income for the rest of his life. And all these thoughts go through his mind, and he just bails rather than politely explaining, I can't do this. I can't. Either I'm not the marrying kind, or I just a cold feet type of thing. Whatever you feel you want to say about this. But I've seen a lot of that lately. A lot of people who look at the world and say, I don't think I could commit to someone, even at 30 or early 30s, for the rest of my life. The living together also gets very sticky. Two people who live together, and then one decides the other one isn't working out, and they just say, I want you out. But what if the second person who they want out doesn't have the resources to leave? So it's I guess this is ghosting in the marriage sense of the word, rather than ghosting like we've just been out for the last number of dates, and yes, we've been physical, and yes, we feel something here, but that's it, can't handle it, done. Now, I'm not saying that just guys do this. There are girls who do this, and look, I come from a respectable place. If you're not wanting to see the person anymore, don't send them a text. Okay, it's not my generation. I'm 74, and in my generation, we used an old-fashioned, not a dialing phone. There were push buttons then. But, just meet with the person or call them up and just say, this isn't working for me. And that could be any number of reasons. An old girlfriend who's come back, not wanting to commit, just was enjoying the sex. When two couples get together, depending on the age group, in the early 20s, college, early 20s, it's very often just about the hooking up, and that's fine. If she gets it, he gets it, and everyone's having a good time, great. But moving into the 30 mark, or even a little above, women want their partners, and there's still that belief, I'm going to find the one, and I'm going to live with that person for the rest of my life, and happily ever afters and whatevers. And when you're young, you believe it, and it all goes to the illusion of hope, but you really, I'm not saying you shouldn't fall in love at that age group and plan a life with someone, but you need to really look at the psychological profile of the person, okay? You need to take your time. You need to live with them. And basically, okay, if you're ghosting someone and you want to dump them, could you not just do a little text? Could you just give a little call? And okay, you're going to tell me, well, I'm not good at communications, Ellie. All these other excuses. I don't know how to explain that. I thought this person was great, but now I see they got so many quirks and so many things wrong with them that they're totally screwed up and blah, 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 blah. And I don't know how to express that or say it. I don't want to hurt them, so I'll just never call them again. Or I will just, in a text, tell them, I'm breaking our engagement. I'm sorry. I can't. And that leaves either the girl or the guy. Most often it's the girl. Not because I read more girls than guys. I read about 50% of each. But it leaves them just sitting there going, did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? I understand why people are interested in this ghosting thing. We should call it ghosting and disappearing, because that's what ghosts do. Ghosts come in, the real ghost projections, they come in, they, whatever, you see them in a mirror, you see them in a picture, you see them in anywhere, and you go, whoa, and you get the message. And with the other ghosting, though, I think if it's one date or 2 dates, let it go. They'll get it. But if it's a series of dates, then you got to know. And you should also know whether you personally, because now we're almost at summer, okay? We're coming into that time of the year where people want romance. Put on your nice little skinny bikini, which I can't wear, but put on your little bikini and go to the beach, go wherever you go to meet people your age, and party and have fun. The summer is a completely different mentality than the winter nesting. This is the summer. We're going out, we're going to laugh, we're going to party, we're going to drink, we're going to have fun, maybe we'll smoke some weed, who knows, whatever makes you happy. We're going to meet someone, we're going to start a relationship now, and boom, 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 the months pass, and suddenly we're in September. And September brings a whole different headspace, and that person that you dated over these summer months may not be someone you really want to connect to. So the whole thing with ghosting is, if you see a ghost, a real ghost, well, if you believe in ghosts, but if you see something that's of the paranormal variety, it's a ghost. Write it down. Maybe you could take a picture. It's very hard to get a picture, though. That's like trying to photograph a real good UFO shot. But that's ghosting that way. Ghosting, letting go of someone you no longer want to be with. Just be a little tiny bit considerate of somebody else's feelings. Otherwise, you really are a jerk. But it's okay. Hey, I'm not here to judge anybody. I talk to enough young people and I read enough people to know this has happened all the way back through time. It will continue more now. It's just that with social media, it's like somebody ghosts you and the next thing you're doing, you're looking at their Facebook and you're looking at this and, oh, if John ghosted me, he must be dating someone else. I'm going to go check John out and find out what's going on. It's the way of the world. I don't judge. Is it good? Is it bad? It is what it is. People text. They don't even email anymore. They text. Sorry, my generation likes a phone. That's just the way that is. But on the matter of ghosting and not being considerate of somebody's feelings, if someone does that to you, they're not worth being in your life. I have one motto since I started Crystal Links in 1995 in terms of relationships, and I have endless relationship files, but either it works or it doesn't. Life is very stressful today, from the way you earn a living, the way you go to school. Anxiety, stress, frustrations, pressures, they're everywhere. So you have to know yourself, and you have to know, am I really capable of a relationship, or am I just trying and I'm going to disappoint someone? Or whatever your deal is, know yourself first, and then go out and, I don't know, hook up and have a good time, or commit to someone, but do it slowly, do it carefully, and do it with the consideration of others. If you come from a culture where people just hook up all the time, and there's, guys treat women not too great, and women treat guys with anger and rage and frustration and all of the things, and I don't have to name things specifically, let it go. If you're a teenager and you're 19 and you've met someone maybe this past year in school, and now it's spring and you want to go out and you want to meet old girlfriends again, new girlfriends again, be honest. Honesty, especially when it comes to relationships and sex, wow, that's very, very difficult. So on the matter of ghosting someone, that's up to you. That's up to the person you're dating. It exists. It hurts people's feelings, but you got to do what you got to do, and this is the world we live in today. And on that note, I say thank you.